This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so from the great inventory days in Principles 1, on the inventory chart, there was the quantity, then we had the unit cost, then the total cost. So in your beginning inventory, your beginning balance, what was your quantity?
5,000 at 40. And then that's where I got that 200,000 at.
So remember, with your beginning balance, you don't make a journal entry, it's already there. That's fine. So you didn't need this journal entry.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so this is the beginning balance. Okay. And then what do you have in inventory now that you produced this time?
For my actual unit cost, can you go to the T account? I don't remember it. It was actual unit cost was 152 at 7,000, and then and it was 7,500 books.
Okay, so going back to $7,500. What did you say the unit cost was?
152. Yeah.
Okay, 152. So what's our total cost?
$1,140,000.
1,140,000. So if we were doing FIFO, how do we get this cost?
You would do the first number first. So take out the 5,000 and like subtract all that stuff, and then you would get the remaining from the 7,500 and subtract it from there.
What if it were LIFO?
You would do the opposite, so the last in, first out. So you would do the 7,500, and then you would take 500 out of 5,000. You know what? You should give me like extra credit because I ain't learned nothing from last year, and for me to remember this, crazy.
So if we're gonna use weighted average, what do we know?
You add up the quantity with each other, and then the unit cost with each other, and the total. Then you divide the total and the quantity to find the weighted average unit cost. Is that right?
That's correct. So
Oh my God. Okay.
So 12,500 divided by 1,340.
It's 107.2.
Okay. So we're not going to use, okay, so you got 107.2 here, and you multiply that by the 8,000. That looks like the right number. So what's the issue?
And I just didn't know what to do with the beginning inventory if I had to put a journal entry for it.
No, you don't need a journal entry.
Oh, okay.
So you don't use either one of these. You don't use either one of those numbers. You come up on a weighted average. You come up with that weighted average to get your cost. So that's not a big deal. I mean, the guy that you don't, but that's not going to affect anything that you're doing at this stage in terms of these calculations. Anything, so you were, like I say, it wasn't meant to, be a major issue. You got your overhead right? How much did you estimate overhead was going to be?
The estimated was 500. Wait. No, it was 900,000, right?
That's what you
Wait.
got here.
Yeah.
And what was your actual overhead?
505.
For 505, right?
Yes. So then that's the part where I kind of got confused. If you go to the T accounts, because I got those numbers right, and then it was like 395. That was like the difference, and I didn't know what to put that. So do I like add it there or onto the left side?
The man, always when dealing over and under apply, this account has to go to zero.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got this balance, you're going to debit and you credit manufacturing overhead. So you over applied, so you got to subtract. So that's correct. What's next? So it looked like you did these things and then you went bowling or something.
You know what's so funny? Because I had practice.
Okay. So everything is correct. Everything is correct so far.
So now with the other the journal entries, we still have to like insert all that other stuff, right?
Like what?
Like the cash, cause I think the cash like automatically added up everything, but I don't know if you wanted me to like label, like debit, credit, like how we did last time.
Well, you have them in stage 5. You're just putting these in so you can do an income statement.
Mm.
So these are not major types of items that we're concerned with. That's why we're just kind of lumping them together. So these look fine. So I don't see problems yet. It's cost of goods sold and it's cost of goods manufactured and cost of goods sold, correct?
Yes. So the last I looked at the YouTube video and we only stopped at the top. So I don't do we do the bottom as well for that third page or fourth page?
I'm not sure. Say that again now.
So this page right here, the cost of goods sold statement, do we need to fill it out like the manufactured statement?
Yes.
Okay. And we just get that from the T accounts as well, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So based on that, what's going to be the answer to our cost of goods sold? Somebody who's working on this. How much is cost of goods sold going to be? What's the bottom line answer going to be? So looking at these accounts, you see what's going to be the answer for cost of goods sold.
2,005,000.
That sounds good. So again, because the balance is what? 2,000,005. So we said whatever's in this account is the answer to cost of goods sold. And that's it. I guess, you can put the income statement material in. You don't have to worry about the trial balance on this one. Just go straight to the income statement.
Did we need to do that? Because I didn't even do that at all.
You didn't need to do any of this, just the income statement. And that would just be sales less cost of goods sold, less those two operating expenses, net income. But the two key things I'm looking at, cost of goods sold, cost of goods manufactured, cost of goods sold. Are there any questions?
Okay, Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
on the income statement, I think we use the adjusted cost of goods sold.
Correct.
All right.
Adjusted cost of goods sold. So she would be putting in here, if it was at 2,000,005,000. She has a loss at this point. But this is actually supposed to be 2,000,004, isn't it? Is it 2,000,004 team? Teams? Was it 2,000,004?
Yes.
Thank you. And then you simply look at those two journal entries and you had 600,000 and 500,000. So this was not meant to be hard now. A loss of 705. Any questions? So that's done. That's all that was involved. Now she did some preliminary work, but in terms of looking at the difficult areas, are we all kind of clear now on how to get these done? Are we clear on how to get them done?
I have a question. Can you push the time back to like 7:30 or 7:45 or something? Like we need more time. Like
What
it's
about
important.
705?
No.
How much time y'all need? 11 o'clock or something like that?
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
Dominique,
That
you're
would
going
be
to
perfect.
learn how to go in here and change these times. Yeah, see how hard y'all work with now? Go in here and try to change the time. See? Oh, man. You should have told me earlier. Dominique, you should have been saying they need more time. But Dominique said, all right, let me go in here and see if I can try to. 11 o'clock fine for everybody? Is 11 o'clock fine for everybody?
That's good with me. Yes, sir.
Let's go in twice. All right, trying to please. See if I can get in the blackboard. Now y'all will admit those were kind of easy. That was kind of easy, wasn't it? Would y'all admit that? Or y'all not gonna admit that? Okay. Assignments. Homework. Change due date. 10/14. So it should be in there at 11 o'clock p.m. Now let's, if we can, since y'all got that down, let's begin to look at the study problems that you have that you'll be working on Tuesday. For the first 6, you have beginning balances, cash and common stock is both 200,000. So based on this, finished goods and retained earnings are going to be the same amount. So to get your finished goods inventory, you come to the section that says beginning inventories. So this first group will come in here and say, okay, 5,000 units at 40. So how much is 5,000 at 40? So whatever that amount comes out to be, X, that will also be the retained earnings, X.
1.6 million.
How much?
1.6 million.
All right, I'm gonna take your word, 1.6 million. So that's what it is. Then the retained earnings are gonna be the same thing. Okay. So you then put these balances into the T accounts. Okay. So you put these balances into the T accounts. Then you make that same calculation, unit cost, selling price, POR. Stage 1 acquisition, when we're issuing stock and things like that. Stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. You gotta, after you put those initial balances in, post the journal entry to the ledger, prepare the trial balance, prepare cost of goods sold, manufacturer statement, cost of goods sold statement, income statement, statement of retained earnings, balance sheet, statement of cash flow, and closing entries. So that's really, not a lot of work. You do have to get a trial balance. But the team has its full complement of people. to get that done on a spreadsheet. And you'll have Tuesday free to work on it. The only thing different is you got some beginning balances. And all teams have to do it. All teams have cash of 200, but 1 through 6, they have 200. Then whatever the finished goods inventory becomes the retained earnings. So you put those balances into the T account, then you journalize the current entries, and you get those statements done. Are there any questions? Any questions?
Just to verify, we don't have class next Tuesday.
No, I'm trying to be. You want class?
No, I'm just making sure that I heard you right at the beginning.
Yeah, we do it periodically. If I've got you working on something, I don't need you in class doing something else or trying to go with something else. You know, I want you just to get this done. Because once the team gets it done, then on Thursday, each person does it on their midterm exam. But you can imagine the midterm would be simpler. But if your team did it today, then your team did it again on Tuesday, then it should be a piece of cake to get it done on Thursday. Individually. Any questions?
I thought the team stuff was due today.
There are two things due. There's a homework that's due today, 20 points at 11 o'clock. Then on Thursday, there's an individual team problem, another 20 points that's due at the start of the class on next Thursday. So as you can see, a lot of your work is outside the class for you to do at your convenience. Okay, so I could have just say, you don't have any of this, you got a midterm and that's it. But what I'm doing, you're working on a lot of that grade outside the classroom. You just have to get it in to me. Got it? Any other questions? We want to be clear on it. Is everybody clear on it now? So, teams are, like I say, everybody do that first section and compare. So everybody work on those assumptions independently, then compare them, and then various people can then do various parts of the problem. But of course, you're submitting me only one problem with everybody's name on it, please. So any final thoughts? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Kyler's doing a lot of smiling today. She must have got a pay raise at work or something.
No, I'm actually in a good mood today, though.
Okay, it's been a good day. Good.
I actually semi-know what's going on, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, you haven't, because you know what's going on. Okay. Pickett, what about you? Do you know what's going on?
Yes, sir. I had to practice some more, but when you went over that last part, Because I was confused on that too. When you went over that, it helped a little bit.
Malik, what about it?
I'm gonna have to watch like a video on YouTube or something because I'm still a little bit lost. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, so let's work with Malik so we can get him to the point where he needs to be. Start Hill, what about you?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
All right, let's work with him so he'll get there. So tutors, you see y'all have y'all work cut out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be good to practice helping, because when we get to the next chapter, sometimes everybody works on the part of the problem, then you put it together. So everybody got to do their part. So the grade is dependent upon everybody in the team and what they put in their part. Got it? So let's practice now, getting everybody ready. So if somebody doesn't pass the midterm, I'm gonna blame you all because you all didn't follow through with them as y'all should have. We're hoping. So that's why you can see now why I kept working on those quizzes on the first three things, so that you would be ready. So if you get that, right, then
If I want to rewatch this, where do I go to watch it?
you just go to
On
J-Boy YouTube, I guess. Somebody sent it to him. Dominique, would you send it to him?
It's a link in the group chat earlier
Okay.
today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
One more. So is the study problem the one that say study problems? Is that due today or that's due next week?
That's due next week. The study problem is due next week. The homework is due this week. And those are all team things. What team are you on?
6.
I team 6. Somebody not on board with what's going on. Is team 6 including this person and talking to him? Renee, so you're talking to him?
It's actually
Who said?
Grace Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
I was just talking, just play. Okay, so the goal is, we come, good little distance so far. You have the journal entries. You just got to put things in. You got the template, you got all the journal entries, and you got those statements. You just got to fill them in. That is, you could be doing this without the template and those journal entries and just giving the information and say, work this. But I say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want them all to be upset with me. So I'll put some in, and then maybe some of them will. Okay. Okay. So I will probably come on at 5:30 on Tuesday to see if there are any burning questions are, and any other time, if on Monday or whatever, email me. But I'll come on at 5:30 to see if anybody has any questions or issues. And if not, you'll be able to work on it so you don't have any additional things, so you can concentrate on it. So as a team, you should be able to get that done and then be ready for the midterm. Okay? Well, you all have a glorious weekend. Don't work too hard. And we will see some of you all on Tuesday and everybody on Thursday. Peace for everybody.
Have a good night, sir.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.